entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge topics in the world of relationships, culture, business, and spirituality. And here's your host, Miss Carol Boston.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, soon to be known as the Crack Your Code, Reframe Your Life Show. I'm so excited to be here today. I would love to pick up my laptop and turn it around so you could see where I'm dog sitting. I'm right on the New River. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's a pool. Fortunately, the two dogs are back on the bed asleep, which is a good thing. Their parents are retired, so they're used to getting attention all the time. It's kind of challenging, right? I mean, on Monday, I coached 9 clients. I didn't have time to go sit outside all the time with the dogs. Anyway, I digress. You know I'm your weather girl. What's the weather like where you are? When you chime in, let me know what the weather's like. I'm going to go right over here to the comments and let me know where you're chiming in from. I am in beautiful, sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This little area that I'm in is called Bal Harbour of Fort Lauderdale. And what an amazing place to own a home. You can literally go to Publix, which is, for those of you who aren't from the South, is the main huge grocery store chain. You can go to Publix, you can go to Trader Joe's, you can go to Whole Foods, and you can go to Total Wine and never have to get out on the highway. It's incredible. You could actually walk to most of those. Definitely could walk to Whole Foods. It's just a beautiful area of Fort Lauderdale. The dogs are Oscar and Kramer. When I first started dog sitting here 2 years ago, I kept saying Oscar and Felix. Who knows what television show Oscar and Felix came from? It's an old one. The Odd Couple. The Odd Couple, Oscar and Felix. And the first time I dog sat, I think I called that dog Felix 9 out of every 10 times. Didn't call him Oscar. Kramer. Kramer's from another television show. I guess they like comedians, right? It's October 30th. One more day, and then we have 2 months left in the year. What were your goals at the beginning of the year? You hear everybody talk about them. Have you achieved them? Are you going to make the fourth quarter the best quarter of the year? Are you going to put out a Black Friday offer? Are you going to take time off? What's best for you coming up in the fourth quarter? And do you believe in miracles? For those of you who are following me here in the United States and are here today, put it in the chat if you watch the Hallmark Channel at this time of year, right? Christmas movies on 24/7. I love it. I'm not a movie buff. I can't tell you, it's been decades since I've been in the actual theater. And it wasn't until about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I began to dog sit my favorite dog of all time, Doppler. Yes, Doppler, like the weather radar. Doppler's mom, Cindy, and I both love the Weather Channel. Doppler was the coolest German Shepherd. Unfortunately, Doppler passed away 2 years ago on my birthday. But Doppler was amazing. And it just so happened that the first time I dog sat her was during Christmas. And I can't even begin to tell you what compelled me to first turn on a Hallmark Channel. I hadn't ever watched it before, and now I watch Christmas movies every year. I think it's because each one of them, and they follow a formula. You know where the dip is going to come and people are going to be crying, and you know it's always going to have a good ending. But what is it about? It's about hope. I just came off of a client onboarding call. Actually, it was several clients in an onboarding call. And I very quickly helped the client get clear on her pitch, right? I mean, in a matter of a minute and a half, literally, maybe 2 minutes tops. No, it wasn't even 2 minutes. And she kept talking about, well, I help parents have better communication with their kids. And she went on to this really long story. And I said, people don't care about that. What's the result of parents and kids having a better relationship? And after asking her enough second and third level questions, I said, oh, you help parents create today the relationship they want to have with their child in 20 years. She goes, that is exactly what I do, right? We get to speak to results. How did I get to that from a Hallmark movie? Oh, because so many of the Hallmark movies are about what? They're about hope. And she said, thank you. I'm so grateful. You've given me hope that I can do this. Touching people's hearts for the restoration of hope is one of the main reasons I do what I do, because it's easy to get discouraged, isn't it? Come on, put it in the comments for me. Everybody's been discouraged at one time or another. Don't tell me you've never been discouraged. I haven't met a single business owner who hasn't wanted to quit more than once. Right? Hasn't wanted to quit more than once. Yep. I'm excited for the changes coming up. We are definitely going to be having guests on Crack Your Code, Reframe Your Life. We're going to be marketing it differently. Not everybody knows that yet who's on my team, but we are. We're going to have guests, and we're going to start having expansion. What is expansion about? As a business owner, most people say, "What? I just want to make more money." But what is the money about? Money's about creating expansion. The more money you have coming in the door, the more you can what? Expand and help more people. The more you expand and help more people, the more money you get to come in the door. And I was listening to a great coach earlier today, and she talks about how she created this miracle hour and how it's radically not only changed her business. She's an 8-figure going on 9-figure coach, has 6 companies, and how each one of her companies, everybody in the company, every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, they do a miracle hour. And she gives you the steps for it. And I thought what was really interesting is she was like, especially when you first start out, after you do this, 10, 15, 20 days in a row, you're going to be like, ugh, this is boring, right? She said, I've talked to business owners who get tired of saying the same thing over and over and over. But we get to do that, folks. You get to hone your message and say that message over and over and over and over, because consistency is key. And some of the very things in her miracle hour are what? They seem to be very mundane things, but the bottom line is they are the foundational basics. What is something in your business that you know is foundational, and that if you were to do it consistently, you would have better results? Think about it. We've all got something. We've all been in resistance to something. Mine's technology. I don't anger easy unless it's my PC that's not working. And I'm like, come on, right? I get mad. Oh, I also get mad at traffic. Let's be honest. I didn't used to until I was in that bad car wreck. But woo, my PTSD flares up in traffic. So if you're sitting out there thinking, crack your code, reframe your life. I'm ready to reframe my life. You're going to get to crack your code in order to get on the show. You want to stay tuned. I saw a new client today. Clients don't get to see me unless they crack their code. Never met this gentleman. He's out in Oakland, California. And I said, may I tell you what I know about you from your code? And he said, yes. Now, K is my third position. You can see NBKA. K is his dominant code. It's his first position. Who's here? Light worker Christina Will Spears is here. She says, hello, Carol Boston. Hello, Christina. We're talking about miracles. We're going to be talking more about miracles in a minute. We're talking about Hallmark Christmas movies. Christina, do you watch those? And we're talking about what is something basic and foundational in your business that you know that if you were to do it consistently, you'd have better results. And we all have something. I was being honest and saying mine was being more willing to learn technology, right? Because here's a powerful thing. It's true for me. It's true for anybody listening. Even if you're not listening, it's true for you. Everything you want is on the other side of the work you're not willing to do. Could I have a bigger business right now? Absolutely. I could have scaled. But there was some work, technology that I wasn't willing to do, that I now get to come out of resistance now that I'm aware. Christina said, yes, sometimes. Great question. Yeah. What one thing? One foundational thing. Most business is not closed because of lack of follow-up. I was speaking with another client this week, and she says, well, I emailed them. I emailed them after the webinar. Right after, Carol, I did it the day after I emailed them. And then what? What's your plan? The new statistics talk about how in today's environment, if you have a low ticket offer, you get that in front of a potential client 7 to 14 times before you close the sale. Actually, before you even get them on a call. 7 to 14 times. Think about how you're scrolling there on Facebook and somebody says something to you, like, oh, I never saw that, right? There's too much going by too fast. If you have a high ticket offer, the statistics show that you can sometimes present it up to 40 times. It's something about your offer must get in front of that high-end client almost 40 times before they get on the phone with you. That's an incredible number. Pre-COVID, it was like 3 to 7 because it was all face-to-face, very different. Christina says, I was just discussing this with another coach. Well, give us more details, Christina. What were y'all saying? I'd love to, if that coach has something else to say, hey, listen, I'm always open to learning, right? Open to learning. So this guy was a high K, and he had rescheduled his appointment with me 3 times. That was it. You don't get to do it again. And he finally sent me the roadmap that he gets to fill out before he gets to meet with me. And he apologizes in the email that he was trying to get it right. So his code is a high K. K stands for knowledge. Ks love the big picture. Ks want the data. Ks want the details. The Ks will tell you they created the box. The blueprints, the Bs, they'll tell you, we love staying inside the box. Bs are low risk, right? A's blew the box up. They don't have any rules. They want freedom. We don't want any box. But as a high K, Ks are never wrong. If you're in business and you're trying to sell your product or services to a K, you cannot sell a K. A K must sell themselves. They're going to ask you a ton of questions. They take their time to process. It was taking him so long because he was trying to what? Make sure it was right. According to who? According to what? This is your roadmap. You get to create it. There's no right or wrong. But we get stuck in that. And the more I began to explain to him about the K personality, he looked at me, he goes, it is amazing how much you know about me and you've never met me. It's a powerful tool. You're going to want to come back and learn. Christina says she was discussing with another coach how we are saturated and it is good to share a free low ticket offer. Yeah, it's called a trust building offer. Absolutely, you get to create trust, a trust building offer. I'm coming up with a new one myself. I'm trying to decide if I know what it is. It's something I've only ever offered my private clients. They get it only if they buy my high ticket program. But I'm thinking, with Good Friday coming up, miracles happen, right? That's a line in so many of those movies. You didn't tell me, Christina, do you watch the Hallmark Channel? Have you ever watched those Christmas movies? In many of the movies, the couple who has fallen in love during the 2 weeks of Christmas, right? Leading up to that, one of them will say to the other one, I heard miracles happen at Christmas. Or sometimes they say miracles happen during the holidays. So what miracle are you looking for? And are you open to receiving it? Oftentimes we think we're ready for a miracle and we're not. Christina says, yes, I do watch them sometimes. Yeah. And you know what's really interesting, Christina? I will actually watch several of them every year. Like I've seen it 3 times. But it really resonates with me. Like for the first time in years, I'm really, really totally open and serious to dating. Not because I'm watching Hallmark movies. The Hallmark movies remind me that I'm ready, right? And that's an important piece of my life that I have left out. And what's interesting is in a very intensive leadership program that I took, it was tough. In phase 3, you have the big group, you have your own little pod and your own private little coach in your little pod. And you get to create, what's it called? VBS. Anyway, you get to create this big, hairy goal that you're going to achieve during phase 3. And what it's about. Your pod, everybody has to be in agreement that that's a good goal for you. And when I started, they said they were in agreement with my goal. My goal was a business goal, and I got busy. And halfway through this particular phase of this program, my coach of my pod said, I'm no longer in agreement with that goal. We're more than halfway through the process. I mean, like well more than halfway. And she said, I realized that because you've not been open to relationships and you've closed that part of your life off, it impacts every other area of your life. If you're not open to receiving there, you're blocking things elsewhere because what? We've said it before, folks, how we do anything is how we do everything. Even as a leadership coach, I have my own blind spots. It was a blind spot. So you know what they did? They said, in the next 2 weeks, you get to go on 4 dates with 4 different women. They can be Zoom dates, thank goodness. Oh, but I did it. I actually went and solicited dates on a Facebook Live. Said, this is my goal. This is what I'm looking to do. Are you willing to do what it takes to be open to receiving and helping create, right? We get to be co-creators in our miracles. Co-creators. We can't sit around waiting for somebody else to give it to us. Christina says, I love romance. And truly, I have always loved love. I like how you said that. Popping on the handy dandy glasses so we can hop into our book today and see what Ayanna Van Zandt says about miracles. And then we're going to talk more about being co-creators in the miracles of our life. This is October the 30th. Sometimes I don't read from the day that it is, but today we are. The theme for October is, I will realize my own worth when I accept ... And today's thought is, when I accept that miracles happen every day. Do you feel worthy of a miracle? Do you believe that for no reason other than you being who you are, the good forces of life will bring you something good or do something good for you? Do you believe that you can experience divine change, divine healing, divine inspiration simply by asking? That'll challenge some beliefs. It would be a miracle if you could open your heart to receive a miracle. That's what they were telling me in the leadership program, right? My heart was closed off to a certain area of my life. If you can believe it can happen to you, it just might happen. How many of you have heard this expression, you don't get what you want in life, you get what you believe? And oftentimes we don't believe that we deserve miracles. We don't believe that we have what it takes to be wealthy, that we don't believe that people are going to listen to us, that we don't believe that we're worth it. Now, from our mouths, we're talking a whole different game. So we get to look underneath it and find out, am I aware of what I really believe? Sometimes it's old files running in the back of our head from how we were raised as children that we're totally unaware of. If you can believe it can happen to you, it just might happen. Miracles happen all the time, but they only happen to those who believe they are worthy of them. Ooh, that's something to think about. When you first start to do something new, it is quite normal to doubt or question your ability. You may feel unsure of yourself. You may feel self-conscious because people are watching you. After a while, you begin to get the hang of it. Your confidence is building. You feel more comfortable within yourself, less doubtful about what you're doing. This same concept can be applied to asking for and experiencing miracles in your life. When you first ask for a miracle, all the reasons why your miracle cannot or will not come true may come to mind. Come on. Put it in the comments. Yana, you are not alone. It's happened to me. It's like telling someone, don't think about a pink elephant. What's the first thing they do? They think about a pink elephant. So if we don't believe we're worthy of the miracle and we ask for the miracle, thank you, Christina. She put Yana, you are not alone, Carol. And we ask for the miracle, but we don't believe, then we block our own request. She says, when you first ask for a miracle, all the reasons why your miracle cannot or will not come true may come to your mind. That's okay. Ask again. The second time you ask, you may be experiencing disappointment that your miracle did not manifest itself the first time you asked. Ha! Who's done that? Come on. That's fine too. Ask again. The third time you ask for a miracle, the miracle will have occurred. You will have opened your heart and moved beyond the belief that you, for whatever reason, could not ask for a miracle. Think about what she just taught us. We don't ask for miracles because we don't believe we're worthy. But if we get into action and ask for the miracle, those doubts and disbeliefs pop up. We ask again. It's uncomfortable. We ask a third time. Guess what? We've created our own miracle. Because if we're willing to ask at least 3 times, somewhere underneath our belief is growing stronger and stronger that we are worthy of a miracle. Otherwise, we would what? Quit asking. You will have opened your heart and moved beyond the belief that you, for whatever reason, could not ask for a miracle. Until today, you may have been reluctant to opening your heart and asking the universe for something you really want or desire. Just for today, believe in miracles. Ask for one, believing that you are worthy of receiving it. Today, I'm devoted to being miracle-minded and miraculously blessed. Powerful words from Miss Ayanna Van Zandt. Yes, yes. We don't get what we want. We don't get what we say we want often. We get what we believe, and we get who we are. You've heard me talk about Be, Do, Have leadership. I just completed a program in Be, Do, Have leadership, learning from somebody who's been doing it a lot longer than me. We always get to keep learning. You notice I don't ever say need to learn, because you don't need to learn anything else, but you get to. And every time you say I get to, you come from a position of what? Choice, which means what? There's power in choice. When you own that you're choosing, are you willing to own that what you have right now is what you're choosing, so that you can then make a decision to choose differently? These glasses are just a little bit big. I don't like having to push them up. I got to get them fixed. Whew. What are you believing for? Is it in your business? Is it in your relationship with your children or your partner or your spouse? Maybe you're believing for a better relationship with your parents. You're believing for a miracle in your business. Maybe you're believing for a miracle in your health. Do you believe deep down that you're worthy? Christina says, love that. I get to share that with my family all the time. Good for you. Good for you. It's good to hear that families are having those kind of open, honest discussions. A lot of families don't. My family didn't. My family is all about, what did you accomplish today? Did you make all A's? Did you make the baseball team? Did you win your tennis match? Can you imagine if a parent said to a child, what one thing would have to happen for you to be truly happy? Now, see, I would ask my child about being joyful, because joy comes from the inside. Happiness is something we draw to us. It is created from our joy. How many of you know somebody who's had really good things happen to them and they're still unhappy? They're choosing. I believe they're choosing. When I have gone through some of the worst, you know what, in my life, Virtually nobody around me knew it. Showed up happy every day, joyful. Look up the definitions, they're different. Are you choosing and willing to be joy-filled from the inside so that you can manifest what you want on the outside? And what are you willing to do to help co-create it? Are you sitting back going, okay, God, I want to sit here and watch Netflix all day. Give me my miracle. It doesn't work that way, folks. We get to get into action. We get to do our part. It's like they said to me in that leadership program, Carol, your wonderful, beautiful next girlfriend is not going to come knock on your door and ask if she can meet you. Where do you get to go to meet her, right? You get to go somewhere. You get to get into action. You get to do your part. Ooh, we won't even get off on those dating apps. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. Yep. When I'm going to start going on dates, guess what? They get to crack their code. They get to crack their code. The lady, the owner, the founder, the creator, the inventor, I told you this cracking the code business has 2 patents. It's the only scientifically validated communication tool to understand somebody's buying values, B-U-Y, buying values, in less than 90 seconds. I was able to tell this gentleman today not only all about who he was as a dominant K, but if I was showing up to the call, he's already a client. If I was showing up to the call to sell him something, I would know exactly what to say and how to sell him. I said, would you like me to share that with you? And he said, yes. And I told him, he said, that is exactly what it would take to sell me something. That's amazing. Crack your code, reframe your life. And you still get to use your intuition, right? We'll try not to let the whole intuitive part go away. But if you're watching this live or your hashtag replay, put it in hashtag replay. I want to crack my code, Carol. This gentleman today said to me, oh my God, this is so amazing for me to be aware of how I show up to other people. Because here's the thing, folks. We don't see things as they are. We don't describe things as they are. We see them and we describe them as we are. We see everything through our own lens of our experience, our skin, our beliefs, our upbringing. And all of us have things from our upbringing that we keep carrying along with us into adulthood that no longer serve us. What are you holding on to so tightly that's actually no longer serving you? It was a miracle in the past. It served some purpose for you. So you call it a blessing and you keep holding on to it, but your hands aren't open to receive today's miracle. Are you willing? Are you ready to co-create your miracle? If you're looking for someone to help you co-create your miracle in your life, private message me. We'll set up a call. You'll get to crack your code first. If nothing else, you'll get to learn a lot about you. And we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. Are you ready to create the best fourth quarter you've ever had and have it be a springboard for 2025? I'm your coach, Coach Carol. I like being called Coach Carol. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm here to serve you. Once again, my name is Carol Boston. I am known as the Queen of Reframe. I also teach and train on empowering questions, how to get the answers that you really want. Are you ready? Are you really ready to have the answers that you say you want? Come back next week. We'll be talking again. We're setting the foundation for kicking off 2025 with Crack Your Code, Reframe Your Life. Blessings to each and every one of you. Go in peace. Make sure you smile at someone that you don't usually smile at, or maybe you smile at a stranger on the street, but make sure you get somebody new to smile this week. Smiles can be contagious. Love you guys.
She's a winner.
And welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, where you take enlightened entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge tactics in the world of relationships.
I bet something terrible was going to happen. You're listening to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, brought to you by Life Coaching Today magazine, empowering your health, your business, your community, your life. Check out the latest issue today at lifecoachingtoday.com. Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.